Are we buying the Ranger Raptor? Watch until the end of the video to find out. Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. All right, today I am just doing a walk around of the outside of the order that I placed for a 2024 Ranger Raptor. You'll see it in shelter green right behind me. Let me turn the camera around, check it out. All right, so there you'll see the Raptor graphics on the back. Is pretty cool. The shelter green's really nice. You know, right now the sun's going down. Obviously you can see that. It is dirty. It hasn't been prepped yet. So it's kind of dirty. Tires are, you know, a little dull on it, but you would imagine this paint cleaned up, bright sunlight, tires shining on it. Very good build. Now, one thing that I don't remember from the build in Carlisle was it seemed like it was more level than what we have here. Now, part of that is I am on a little slope on the parking lot here, but not, you can tell by the clearance. Well, you can't really tell because different angle, different height, you know, the front fender well there in the rear. But if you were here, it's obvious that it's a lot higher in the back. Come around to the front, a nice grill on it, the typical Raptor grill, big bold Ford letters. You know, there's a little bit of math to this. This bigger engines, even with the 2.7s coming out later in the standard Ranger, but this needs more air. And so they need it for induction. They also need it for cooling. And so you see all of that. Down here, you'll notice the intercooler. And I'm assuming this is, yep, there it is. That is the block heater or crankcase heater. And you'll see the tow hooks on the front. You've seen a lot of these videos. I mean, there's going to be, you know, first time at the mall, first time at Chick-fil-A, first time here, first time there, all those videos coming out. But this is the order that we placed, and it is very interesting. Somebody's had, you know, that's not cool. But I don't know if you've really been able to see this before. Look at the shoulder. I don't know if you call it the shoulder. Look how the bed comes out on the back. You know, you see a lot of this with like the new Mustang. It has a really big shoulders on the rear quarter, but this is just where the bed comes out. Now, one thing that's interesting, yes, you can get 4-foot plywood in the back. That's pretty cool. You have your DC charger here. You also have your 115 household style 400 watt power on board. You see the little, really small window that opens up, the power window there. Antenna looks good, how it's angled like that. That's pretty cool. I just, you know, they need to be leveled. And I get it. You know, if you're putting a bunch of payload in the back, it's going to squat a little bit. Maybe some of that is for performance off-road. I don't really know. And this is really cool, the recovery hooks here. You know, this is onto the actual hitch itself. So it's kind of integrated into where your receiver goes in there. You see the exhaust tips, they're held up kind of, well, they're held up as high as they could be. This is good for approach, I guess departure as well. I don't know what the numbers are exactly. I can't remember. The breakover is okay. The approach is really good, and departure is really good as well. This is a neat truck. So if you're buying this truck for people to, you know, well, let's just say for the look at me type thing, I have heard from many people online and one person locally that said they were surprised that it was kind of underwhelming driving down the road. You know, if you like the Ranger Raptor, you like the performance of it, the 400 plus horsepower, all the suspension tech in this thing is really cool, then you know all about it, right? And that's why you like it. But driving down the road, if you want people to look at it and point like they did in the Bronco, this might not do it for you. You know, maybe another color would do it, but at least in shelter green, it's not jumping out to be that much different than what's on the road. Now, I say that from what other people are mentioning, and kind of they're not getting the eyes, the second looks, or things like that. I mean, I think it's cool. Here's the question. Am I going to buy it? Am I going to sign for it? Am I going to take it home? Am I going to pay for it? It's kind of breezy out here. It's getting a little dark. Let's go back to the studio to answer that. I do have some news, some heartbreaking news that happened in our family, and this is kind of connected to that in some little weird little way. I hope that I've got to talk very carefully around this because I don't want someone to think badly of me, but I'm just speaking from the heart. So take it for what it's worth. But there it is. We waited over a year, and the Ranger Raptor Shelter Green 400 plus horsepower pickup truck is here. Let's get back into the studio. Okay, so we're not in the studio, but I am in my garage, and it is another day. My mom had a major medical issue. She went to the hospital. 3.5 weeks there. She came home, 4 weeks at her house. I moved in with her. So basically for about 2 months this year, I helped take care of my mom. Stayed with her, lived with her. So when Gavin and I look at what we do, our Bronco that's our favorite vehicle, right? I mean, I have my truck here behind me, that's one thing, but the Bronco is our favorite vehicle, and my wife's Bronco as well. So we looked at the truck and said, sure, we can have fun with the Ranger Raptor too, 400 plus horsepower suspension, we can go out and do some cool stuff with it. But the rest of my family, not so much. They're not really interested in that truck. They're more interested in doing stuff in the Bronco. So I said, okay, well, let's see, I'm already now kind of behind the curve with business, expanding the business. So I need to spend more time with that. I want to spend more time with my family because when you go through a personal tragedy, you realize that you should spend more time with this person or that person or whatever. So I'm very conscious right now of time spent with my family. So I've decided to say no to the Ranger Raptor. It's one more. We have 5 personal vehicles. We didn't need a 6th. We have company trucks and vehicles that, trust me, it's, you know, if I could fit the Ranger Raptor in the fleet, make it make sense, we would, but it doesn't fit our needs right now. You know, something like what's behind me is more of what we need, hauling heavy equipment, things like that. So that being said, the rest of my family, they want to go wheeling, they want to go to the beach in the Bronco, they want to do stuff like that. But the Ranger, they're not that excited about. Gavin and I were, or are still, because one day, will one be in our future? Possibly. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm just saying the window's open. But we decided to spend our time in other places, and modifying our Broncos is something that is going to be between, say, now and the end of the year, kind of important to us. Not kind of, it's one of the most important things that we do, and then more outdoor stuff. So Gavin and I are doing more fishing stuff, and we just went yesterday, and I had a great time all day, and we want to do some really cool stuff, film it here for the channel, so it's adventure, interesting travel, stuff like that. Not a travel channel, but as we go to that fishing hole and use the Bronco to get there, kind of see some stuff along the way. So that's kind of, you know, and interviews. We have a really good video coming up this week, and you don't know what this week is, but it's first week of May 2024, so this will date itself. But we have a guest coming up in a few days that's very knowledgeable, and it's going to add, I think, a tremendous amount of value. That's the kind of stuff we want to spend our time on. The Ranger Raptor just did not fit. I know I'm rambling. It didn't fit right now, so we've passed. I just want to let you know that while we didn't get it, the 2 months I was out of pocket, so to speak, you know, emotionally it's taken a toll. It's changed my mindset. It's changed my time allocation, and it's changed our goals and our plans. If you're waiting on one, do the deal. I mean, if it financially works for you and you don't have too many vehicles like we do, it is a neat vehicle. It's very fun. It's not overwhelming when you see it drive down the road, but that's probably not why you're buying the vehicle, or you maybe shouldn't buy it for people to look at it. You know, we are in a attention-driven society, it seems, anymore, but you know, you're buying that truck for the performance, the abilities that it has, and if that's what you're looking for, and financially it's not a big deal, and you want to use it, and you're going to use it, go for it, do it. But for us right now, we had to pass. So anyway, I hope this video found you okay. If you do, you know, like the story, like the content, or, well, I'm just explaining. I don't have a reason to explain other than I told you I was getting one, and we didn't, so I wanted to let you know. More fun content to come. I'm out. Everyone, like the video if you would. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Appreciate it, and look forward to more videos.